So we walked from Flint's Beach, which was 150 meters away, and we've got to this lookout point here called what's it called? Rocky Beach Lookout. Nice. You know, when it said Rocky Beach, I was thinking about Rocky the movie, right? And then I saw the gym here and I'm like, okay, I don't know, not that funny, but imagine working out here early in the morning. The sun is rising from there. You got this fresh breeze coming from the ocean. Maybe there are whales jumping. Or it would be a great start for the day, wouldn't it? Okay, check out the view. Ladies and gentlemen, the fence is not that high, but I'm not gonna jump it because I don't think it's worth it. Is worth it, but nah, I'm not a risk taker. So I was wondering, actually, there's so much to do here in Australia. Of course there's so much to do. You got beaches, you got mountains, you've got desert, we've got so much wildlife, forest, so much. You can think of everything. You can do all the adventure sports you can think of. But Australia is so far away from the rest of the world, right? Like, would one be much happier in Europe, or would be happier in Australia? So I was looking this up, right? So they were comparing Sydney with London and New York, and they were talking about the number of people that are there in each of these places. So instead of seeing my stupid face, you can actually enjoy the view while we have a chat. They were talking about how, okay, I'm not going crazy, I'm right here. They were talking about the number of people per square area. I think there were like 450 or 50 people, 500 people here in Sydney compared to 5,000 in London, and something stupid like that, 4,000 in New York. So they were saying that there's more space per person in Australia because the population is low and they've got so much big area. And also they were talking about pollution, which is much lesser here in Australia compared to the other two cities. Traffic, much lesser. The happiness quotient is much higher here in Australia. And the houses, you gotta see. Actually, I don't have a very good example here right now, but typically there's a lot of gap between houses here in Australia compared to England, or I don't know about New York. So you kind of feel like the houses are on top of each other. So like that, Sydney's got quite a lot going for it in terms of you know, all the factors which I just mentioned. But on the other side, if you're living in Europe, you can like jump on a train or drive maybe 2 or 3 hours. You can be from France to Germany, and it has changed completely. The language, the food, the people, the dressing, the culture, the history, everything. You can experience so much in Europe in such small distances. That's a big plus for me in Europe, I would say. And yeah, so I love Australia, but the good thing is I can always come back here for a couple of months and chill out, but I don't see myself living here at this moment. And I would love to go back to Europe eventually when COVID passes and experience Europe, you know. But Australia is definitely unique, and it's got so much more beautiful things going for it. So that was a little rant about in comparison of Australia and Europe. Wow, look at the waves. So this is the Rocky Beach. Actually, a big plus for Australia, which I forgot to mention, is the language. If you speak English, then you're good here in Australia. But if you're going to Germany or France, etc., It can be a pain in the neck. Especially what I noticed is, this is something unique, or I don't know if, okay, I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Like, I'm from India and English isn't my first language. So initially when I was learning English, it was mostly through friends and other TV shows actually. And I used to go and pretend like Joey, for example, from Friends, with my friends, or maybe Stan or Cartman from South Park with my friends, just to see what the reaction would be. And I used to enjoy it because not many of them used to watch the shows I used to watch. And gradually it became a part of me, and I started talking better English, for example. Now when I'm walking around here, for example in the hostels, etc., I see people from other countries doing that now, okay? And that, I don't know, I mean, I can see, I want to help them maybe, I mean, if they need help, but I can see that it's not them who is talking, it's the shows that are influencing them is who is talking. Then I get this impression that they are practicing their English with you, and I don't feel like I have time for that. So I'm a little bit like that. Why I'm saying this is because if you go to other countries without knowing their language and you're talking to them in English, this kind of scenario will happen where they are like trying to practice their English with you, and I find that very annoying. On the other side, I'll tell you another story. I once met a girl from England in Cork, Ireland, and she saw me, and we started talking on the street actually. And she goes, "Are you from India?" And I goes, "Yeah." And she started talking to me in Hindi, and I had to spend another 40 minutes talking to her in Hindi so that she can practice her bloody Hindi. I didn't give a shit about that. I wanted to know her, and all she wanted was to practice her Hindi. And then when I went to London, she wanted to meet me so that she can practice Hindi, and guess what happened? I hung up on her. So I don't know, maybe I'm not as patient as loads of other people are, but the point is, if you go to countries in Europe, language could be a barrier. I could have just said that at the start, guys. I'm sorry, I just wanted to rant for a bit. Anyway, let's take in the view. There are loads of locks here. I wonder what the idea is. I think it's to show that our relationship is gonna go strong as the lock. Maybe the couple's name might be on it. What is the idea? No pressure, guys. I don't know, if I'm in a relationship and the girl wants to put a lock on it like that, I don't know, it becomes more like a, what would I call it? You won't be free anymore, right? You're just tied to each other then. Some people might see it as a good thing, some people might see it as a bad thing. I see it like only two free people can love each other. On that note, I'll end the video. I know it's controversial. If you think otherwise, please put a comment in the comment section. Thank you, and bye from the Rocky Beach Lookout. All right, bye.